So I'm with Abigail from Lifeline for the Old. Now, Abigail, what is Lifeline for the Old?
Lifeline for the Old is a wonderful Jerusalem organization which takes the neediest elderly of the city and gives them a reason to get up in the morning and a purpose in life. It gives them work opportunities, creative work opportunities in artistic studios, and also helps them financially, socially.
Now, you've got a huge building and premises here. When was it started and why was it started?
We were actually started back in 1962 when Jerusalem was very different. Right now we're in a very, very central location right across from City Hall, 5 minutes from the walls of the old city. Back then in 1962, although our location was the same, the situation was very different because we were in a divided Jerusalem. We were on the border. And so the area was extremely dangerous because it was right on the front line and very, very poor. The story begins with a school teacher called Miriam Mendelow, who was inspired by the fact that the students that she was teaching, the junior high school students she was teaching, she could see were treating the elderly all around them with disrespect. They weren't treating them the way that she wanted them to be treated. And she also was appalled that the elderly were sitting on the street, on our street here in Jerusalem, begging. She felt that that was a terrible situation, that she could help them financially, but more importantly, even than just the money, rediscover their self-respect and sense of self-worth. So she opened the first Yad Kashish workshop, which was a book bindery, with just 6 elderly men from the street that she persuaded to come in. And 50 years later, we have almost 300 people. And what started as a book bindery is still going, but has grown to include many, many artistic workshops alongside.
And how many elderly people do you support here and what sort of backgrounds do they come from?
We have almost 300 people who come every day of the year, every weekday of the year. The backgrounds, they are all immigrants to Israel. Almost all of them are immigrants to Israel. Most of them from the former Soviet Union, so they're Russian speaking, from Ethiopia, from South America, a few from Iran, and a few from other countries. What their professional background is very different. We have people who are former pediatricians, we have piano tuners, we have mechanics, we have engineers, we have teachers, housewives, a whole range of previous occupations. What unites them now is unfortunately they're all in a very, very bad financial situation because they immigrated to Israel around about retirement age. Whatever money they may have had where they came from is no longer usable. So they find themselves in a new country with no Hebrew, so difficult to communicate, retired already, so unable to find a job, and with very, very little money. And these are the people that we're helping here at Lifeline for the Old.
And what things do you actually do here? What workshops do you have?
So the workshops that we have include the metal work, the book bindery, uh, recycled paper making, paper mache, ceramics, silk painting, um, textiles, knitting, toy making. It's a whole range of workshops.
So anybody can fit into one of those different subjects.
Absolutely. Our founder had a saying, if somebody has only one finger, I will put that finger to work. That's really what we believe. Unfortunately, we're not miracle workers. We can't give someone back a physical ability they don't have. If people are legally blind, we can't give them back the eyesight that they may have once had. But we believe that whatever physical disabilities people come with, however, even if they feel that they don't have particular artistic skills, everybody has something to contribute. Everybody has a way of getting involved, and everybody has a right to feel valued and to have their own particular talent and skills used for the benefit of everybody.
Now, do you have many disabled people coming here and is it easy to fit them into some sort of project here?
We do have quite a few disabled people here. We have one workshop which was traditionally made specifically for rehabilitation and there's a little bit more sensitive to the particular needs of certain people. But in general, we believe that physical disability does not make somebody any less able to contribute, and it's just a question of finding exactly what they can do and how they can do it, and people can amaze themselves when you give them the chance.
Now that you make a lot of beautiful product here, is a lot of this art therapy?
I think there's always a therapeutic element in the sense that it's not a coincidence that the work that we do is very creative, it's artistic, it brings pleasure to the people who buy the things, and of course it's a pleasurable experience to make something beautiful. On the other hand, it's not. We're very careful to say this is not our therapy as such, because the purpose is really giving someone a job. The elderly know that they are making things not because just for themselves. They're making things which people are going to want to buy, and that in itself strengthens them and gives them a tremendous feeling of pride that they're making something that will appeal to someone, and will be bought by someone and used by someone and loved by someone who may be living here in Jerusalem, or could be as far away as Brazil or Poland or America or all around the world, that their products, their handiwork is going to make someone else happy who maybe they never even met.
Now you must have some wonderful characters here with wonderful different stories. What sort of stories do they have?
We do have a lot of people. It's very interesting to hear the different stories. Unfortunately, we have people who've had very, very difficult life experiences. We have several Holocaust survivors who've really, been through horrific things in their youth and their young adulthood. And it's extraordinary to us that at their advanced age and after everything that they've been through, that they can still find the strength to get up in the morning with a smile and come to work and be with their friends and be productive and keep going.
So a lot of the things that they actually do make does get sold and goes off around the world.
Absolutely. We have a beautiful large gift shop here on the site. People tend to come and to visit and to meet the elderly and then to buy their products. But for the people who don't have a chance to go to Jerusalem, we also sell a lot of the products online, and that way we can reach even more happy customers from around the world.
And what would these elderly people be doing if they weren't coming here? Would they be just stuck at home on their own?
We really believe that they would be stuck at home on their own if it wasn't for coming for Lifeline, because the reality is that when you don't really speak the language, because it's very, very hard to learn a new language when you're 70 or 75 or 80 or 85, and you don't have the money to join some of the programs that are available for seniors, which are all charge fees. Then what's left is just to sit at home in government housing, watching television, with really no reason to get up in the morning. And that's a terrible scenario, and we don't believe that anybody deserves that. And that's why we're so happy that we are able to provide this wonderful opportunity for people to reconnect with wider society and to come back and feel connected.
So has Lifeline for the elderly become family for them?
Very much so. It's very much a family atmosphere at Lifeline, and of course, people here form very close connections with the people that they sit with, mainly because most of the people here stay for many, many years. We have at least 30 or 40 people who have been with us for more than 18 years. And if you imagine what that's like to come every weekday of the year for 18, 19, 20 years, and along with many other people, they form wonderful connections. And it's not just a workplace, of course. It's also that people speak their own languages to each other. They can speak in Russian or Amharic, the language of the Ethiopian Jews, or Spanish or Farsi, Persian. They can speak to each other, they can form these connections, and for people who in many cases have no spouse, they're widowed, or children live far, far away, it's really their connection to the world.
Now, why do you get involved personally?
I came and fell in love with this place the minute I walked in. And even though I've been here at Lifeline for the Old for over 2.5 years, every time I meet the elderly again, every time I say good morning, whenever I see how happy they are to be here, how happy they are to see each other, how happy they are to be engaged in what they're doing, to be working, to be creating, to being useful, to being productive, it just makes me feel so happy to be and so privileged to be a part of this wonderful organization. So that's why I'm here.
Now, there are lots of elderly people all over Jerusalem. What's your prayer for the elderly people in Jerusalem?
My prayer for the elderly of Jerusalem is that for everybody out there, that they should not feel that just because they're going into a more advanced stage of life that's it and they have nothing to contribute anymore. That they should feel that whatever their personal situation, their personal circumstances, that it is not too late to start again even, or to continue doing what they're doing. That when there's a will, there's a way. That there's always something to do. There's always people that you can help, ways that you can contribute, and my prayer for them is also that for the rest of us, that we should all continue to value them. That we should not think of them any less when we think of people who are younger. That we should really value what they can do, what they can contribute, and just treat them like everybody else, as people who deserve just as much as we all want for ourselves.
Now, you have lots of amazing products on your website. What's your website address for people who'd like to know more?
Our website is www.lifeline, lifeline.org.il. Lifeline.org.il.
Okay, Abigail, thank you very much.
Thank you.